One of the major ones is the Pine Hill Dairy being given special permission to import milk. Mr. Weir says this is necessary as supermarkets are concerned they have been seeing less milk on their shelves. He says Pine Hill informed him in what he describes as a brutally frank meeting it is not getting enough milk from dairy farmers whose cows are not performing at their best. Therefore, the decision to source milk from an outside source had to be made as soon as possible because the heifers to be imported will not arrive on the island until later this year.
And the Pine Hill Dairy, in order for us to meet demand in June with the Cricket World Cup, they're looking at how they can produce more milk for domestic consumption. And they're working also with a partner in CARICOM to give us an additional supply as well so we can meet the demand for the tourism industry. So those plans are going ahead as we speak. We are not going to open the floodgates so that any and everybody can start importing milk. This is for a set period, and during that period, Pine Hill Dairy would be solely responsible for getting that additional supply through our CARICOM source. And then they're also working with the dairy farmers to make sure they ramp up production as well.
Now turning to pork production, in an effort to reduce the high importation of the product, which Mr. Weir says is now alarmingly out of control, measures are being taken to boost the local production of the meat, which is in high demand by Barbadians and visitors to the island. The Agriculture Minister explains he will meet with pig farmers next Monday to discuss plans to ramp up production. He's also revealed Barbadian butchers have been sent to the United Kingdom to train how to do the specialty cuts, in addition to cutting equipment being upgraded.
In this year's estimates that we took to Parliament, we've reintroduced the GILT program where people can now breed pigs just for the purposes of giving us piglets, and they're getting an incentive for doing that. And then we are also looking at how we can use AI much more, artificial insemination that is, to help improve the genetics. Now, I've heard a conversation taking place, and I've heard this in the Senate as well, that we have lost our genetics and we've destroyed over 100 years of our gene pool. And I want to say that that is the greatest piece of rubbish I've ever heard, because the farmers themselves said that the best genetics we have right now are the ones that we have here in Barbados at this time.
The Agriculture Minister also says 2024 is expected to be a record-breaking year for poultry producers once the industry continues on the existing path. According to him, a backup plan is in place if there are shortages in the poultry sector.
We should get up to as high as 11 million baby chicks, which is the highest since 2019. I think 2019 we did 10.7 million. So this will be just above that. And that is good news for us. The feed is also performing a lot better than it was previously. So chickens are now going to slaughter like 9 days ahead of the 6 weeks period, which is good. And the weights are coming out a lot better. Some people are saying they're getting 2.5 kilos, which is really remarkable. Previously they were getting like 1.6, 1.7. So to be getting 2.5 is really good. It's a sizable bird. And the projections are, up to now, will be that we will be able to supply enough chicken going into the Cricket World Cup.
The minister also notes there's been an increase in local egg production, and an additional 100,000 birds are expected to be on the island by August.
And then we are working on a joint project with one of the major poultry producers and the BADMC in order for us to allow for farmers in the feed program to get into poultry. Previously, poultry was not part of the feed program, but we're now including that as well because we recognize we don't have all the land available for people to do crop production only. So poultry is being introduced, and also pig farming is being introduced as well. So it will now be sheep farming, pig farming, and poultry.
In light of the bird flu outbreak in the United Kingdom and United States, Minister Weir is warning Barbadians about bringing in any kind of bird or poultry products because it poses a severe risk to the poultry industry.
And given our size, this entire industry could be wiped out in no time if people take the risk of bringing in any kind of birds or poultry products that are not authorized. And you know, Barbadians tend to like to hide away things in their suitcases, etc. But we are putting border control on high alert as well, so that there should be complete searches for those types of things. And if all goes well, we should be quite safe. Currently, we don't have an outbreak in this region, but we have several protocols in place, and we are working with the authorities as well.
Mr. Weir says he will continue to engage players in the poultry, dairy and pig farming industries in serious discussion regarding the industry.